Hey all, Hipper here, and happy release day for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. And I've already played this game for a while, and I thought I would create this video on split screen and local multiplayer as quickly as possible. Because this is something I find is always missing when I go out and buy a new game. So I realize most of you are probably going to play this game alone, or if you're going to play multiplayer, you're probably going to play over the internet, which of course makes perfect sense. But for me personally, I like to play these games here in split screen, local, couch, multiplayer, whatever you want to call it, where you sit with a friend on your couch and you play. Just like the recent Borderlands titles, Wonderlands supports up to 4 players in local split screen play, which is awesome. Like, so few games these days support split screens. I think it's very important that we celebrate the few ones that do. And Gearbox always delivers with this. And you can even choose, if you want to do it horizontally or vertically. And that was something that was missing from Borderlands 3. Like, we didn't get horizontal split screen until like a long way into the life of the game, and that was a huge mistake, because this way, like 2 players in horizontal split screen, I think is the best way to play this game here in multiplayer, honestly. I'm running the game here on Xbox Series X in high resolution mode, and it works perfectly fine for 2 players in horizontal view here. If you put it in vertical view, the frame rate seems to suffer a little bit, and I might think about nudging it down from resolution mode to performance mode. As you can see, performance mode looks a tiny bit worse when it comes to resolution, but you preserve that smooth frame rate, which really is more important, let's be honest here. So if you play vertical like this, I suggest lowering the graphic detail so you get better frame rate. If you play horizontal, then you can leave it at high resolution. I am also very happy to announce that the user interface has been fixed. I mean, in Borderlands it could be very annoying to play split screen, because you would get part of the UI covered or like sticking out of the screen and stuff. But in Wonderlands that has been fixed, and the interface is actually really good. You can do anything you want, and of course you can do it while the other player is still playing. Alright, let's move on to 3 players here. And for 3 players, I suggest that you don't use resolution mode. Go down to performance mode, because the frame rate does get a little choppy when you are having 3 players running around. And of course, one player will have to have a bigger view than the other 2, and that's just too bad. I mean, that person will then play horizontally and the other 2 in vertical. So it's a bit of a, you have to get used to it, but with 3 players, it works beautifully. There's nothing wrong at all, and the frame rate is fine. You can also play it in resolution mode, it's not a problem at all. But I suggest you play it in this more smooth performance mode. Alright, let's move on to the more interesting 4-player mode here, and this is quite spectacular really. There's so few games support split screen multiplayer, and when they do, it's usually only 2 players. But here you have 4 players, and like you're not really giving up anything. It's just a smaller window, and that's it. It's still the full game, and you still do whatever you want to do, and it's awesome to be very frank here. Right now it's running in performance mode, which gives you a very nice and smooth frame rate for all players. It's actually quite impressive, and I suggest you leave this, if you play 4 players, you leave it in performance mode. I will in a minute switch over to performance mode, and I'll show you how it looks. And it's not that much worse actually, but when you get into some pretty nasty fights with lots of effects going on, it can really slow down, and that's why I think that you should probably stick with the performance mode if you play 4 players. Just like in 2 and 3 player split screen, there's nothing stopping you from going through your inventory or reading up on quests or fiddling around with your skills or myth rank or whatever you want to do, while the other players just go on with their day and play the game, or go shopping or whatever they want to do. It's completely free, and that's awesome. That's fantastic. And as I said, the user interface actually works this time around, so you don't get that really frustrating cut-off stuff that you used to get in Borderlands. So well done on this one here. Very, very impressive. So to finish off this quick review here, if you are into split screen games and local couch co-op, and you like to sit on your couch and play with other people on the same TV, this game is perfect for it, and it is much better than the usual stuff from Gearbox like Borderlands. They've actually polished this and perfected it, so multiplayer and split screen is actually pretty much perfect here. So in other words, if you enjoyed the multiplayer mayhem, the split screen multiplayer mayhem of the first Borderlands, the second Borderlands, the third Borderlands, this is a game for you. And this is even better, like I said before, it's even better than the Borderlands series, because it is perfected here. The split screen is pretty much as perfect as it can be. The performance is great, the graphics are great, and there's really no limitations. So I wholeheartedly recommend this game here if you are into split screen gameplay. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I'll see you out there.